All right, everybody, welcome back to the deWiz Golf YouTube channel. We are very happy to be joined by our newest ambassador. Sara Kjellker joins us out from San Diego. Sara is the newest member of the deWiz ambassador team. We are very happy to have her on board, and we thank her for taking the time out to join us here this morning. Sara, you have a very interesting background with deWiz, the company, our co-founder, Marcus Westerberg. Talk to us a little bit about your background with deWiz, your background as a golfer, and where you're at currently in your career.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. First of all, I'm really excited about joining deWiz, and it's been a product that I've been using for 5 years now. And I've been working with Marcus since I was 10 years old. So he's been with me through every stage of my life, the highs and the lows. And I remember one lesson that we had, 5 years ago. He told me that he had been working on a secret project. I didn't know what it was. I was so curious to find out, like, what is this? Like, what is taking up your time so much? And then one lesson he came back and he showed me deWiz, talked me through how to use it, and then from there on we started working with my wedges a lot. So I chose three different lengths of my backswing, so 80, 100, and 120, and I just grinded those in, and that has really changed my game and my strength of my game is now my wedges, just thanks to that. So it's been really exciting for both me and Marcus to see that live and really work on that. And other people have also like asked me like what has changed in your wedges, and I think it's just that the confidence that you get on the course, knowing that okay, this type of backswing is going to get me to exactly that carry. So just a really good key to have on the course as well.
And Sara was a standout at San Diego State, now played on the LET for the last year in her rookie season. And Sara, you talk about your wedges in the disc wedge mode of deWiz, and I think this is something that can be helpful for a lot of golfers, not just deWiz users, but golfers in general. So I'm curious, when you're out on the course, you're playing a round of golf, you're faced with a 95-yard shot. What are you thinking in terms of deWiz numbers? Is that you see that shot like, okay, I need to carry 87. That's going to be my 100-centimeter backswing with my 56-degree wedge. Is that so ingrained with you at this point that that's kind of what your mentality is?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had a few, I have had a lot of wedges in my tournaments, and let's say I have, like 90 meters, 92 yards, whatever. And then I might want to carry it 85. And I know my 120 centimeter backswing with my 54 club carries 85. So I've also gotten to know the feels of where that backswing is. So I know if I have a 100 centimeter backswing, it kind of feels like I'm stopping just below when my shoulder is just below my chin. And 120 is when I feel like my back is towards the target. So I kind of know these like baselines of like, okay, this is how far I have to swing, knowing that I'm gonna be very close to 120 centimeter, and the ball is gonna be very close to the hole.
And for anybody watching, she mentioned she's been using deWiz for 5 years now. deWiz has only been on the market for 2 years. So that tells you how far back Sara and Marcus go. One other question I wanted to ask. We have released our on-course mode recently for the whole deWiz public. What have you learned about your game from putting the on-course mode into action?
Well, I think that one is a very awesome adding to deWiz, because I've noticed that I use deWiz a lot in my warm-up before a tournament. And then when I use it on the course, I can notice that my tempo may get a little quicker if it's a tee shot I don't like, or you're nervous or whatever. So that has been really crucial for me to be aware of and always think about, like, okay, let's just calm down and make sure we get a good turn and follow through. The same thing as sometimes I get quick, like I said, but also short in my backswing. So I might not get the full yardages that I'm usually getting, because you get a little tensed up and you're not really turning back the way you normally do. So those two things have been very important for me or very good for me to be aware of and see them. And what I feel is not always the reality, but with deWiz, I can get the full feedback.
That's awesome. I mentioned you're out in San Diego now for the winter, so obviously a great place to be able to practice, probably a little bit better and a little bit warmer than Sweden.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
But so Sarah, I'm just curious. We'll wrap up with this. What does the next year of professional golf look like for you? What are your plans? What are your aspirations? And what does the next kind of 10 to 12 months look like for your schedule?
Yeah, so now I'm just preparing and working hard in the gym and on the golf course for next season on the European Tour starting up in beginning of February. And then I'm hoping to get my first win this next year. I've been close this year, but didn't really get it together. So that's a big goal of mine. And then that'd be really very awesome. And then obviously my goal is to get on the LPGA next year. So I'll do either get my full card through the LET top 4 on the ranking. It's the full card for next year, or I'll go through Q School. Uh, and then from there, I mean, Solheim Cup would be awesome. That's a big goal of mine. I love team play and the adrenaline that comes with that. So yeah, win and Solheim Cup.
There we go. So, Sarah Kjellker, newest member of the deWiz ambassador team. Thanks so much for taking the time out to join us. Best of luck with everything over the next year. And I think we're probably going to have some behind the scenes stuff that we're going to be doing with you over the next couple of months as well. So be on the lookout for that here on the deWiz Golf YouTube channel. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.